Hello everyone, CompleteIndie here, and welcome to Battle of Wits. Today, we're going to be building around the commander, Syr Gwyn, Hero of Ashvale. Syr Gwyn is a red-white-black commander that costs 6 mana. It's a 5/5 with Vigilance and Menace, but also 2 special abilities. First off, whenever we attack with an equipped creature, we draw a card and lose 1 life. But additionally, she also grants all of our equipment the ability to pay 0 when attaching to knights. In essence, this creates a commander that wants us to both be playing knight creatures as well as equipment. Luckily, this can work together to create an incredibly cohesive deck, and today, we're going to see that deck in action. To start, let's look at some of the equipment and its support that'll be available in the deck. We want to run powerful equipment itself, focusing on things that can provide lots of strength, like Blackblade Reforged, Hand of Vecna, and Mace of the Valiant. Ones that grant us plenty of keywords like Loxodon Warhammer, Basilisk Collar, and Swiftfoot Boots. And things in between, like Cauldron Complete, which grants +5/+5, a plethora of keywords, and even provides a creature when it enters. Of course, we absolutely need ways to get our equipment into play, whether by drawing it the good old-fashioned way, using cards like Transmogrant's Crown, Pure Steel Paladin, or Eye of Vecna, or if even more unique ways, like Fighter Class, Armored Skyhunter, or Audacious Reshapers, which can filter through our library looking for equipment. Additionally, cards like Halvar, God of Battle, Brunar Battlehammer, and Leon and Shikiri are all incidental ways of caring about the equipment we have in play. And to mitigate the usual problem between balancing the number of equipment to the number of creatures we can attach them to, we even run a couple creatures that blur the line a little, with Blade of the Oni, Lizard Blades, and Icing Death Frost Tyrant. But what about the other main component to the deck? Remember, Syr Gwyn rewards us for playing knights by circumventing the cost of equip abilities, so we want to have some knights to equip our stuff too. Obviously, some of our knights reward equipment directly as well, like Fervent Champion, Denifa Capuchin Paragon, and Balan Wandering Knight. But we also run things that simply make our knights more aggressive, like Knight Exemplar, Kinsbale Cavalry, and History of Benalia. On top of that, we run things that reward us for having knights, like Worthy Knight, Knight's Charge, and the Circle of Loyalty. On top of everything mentioned so far, we also have things that are just really good to attach our equipment to, such as Paladin of Atonement, Arok Steel Shaper, and Silverblade Paladin. But, as always, we want to get our knights, and if the card draw from earlier isn't enough, Nahiri, Heir of the Ancients, Acclaimed Contender, and Grieven Predator Captain are all viable options. In the deck, we run a catalog of removals such as D-Spark, Crackling Doom, and Earl, Knight of Windgrace, as well as some removal of artifact synergies like Jock Non, Battle at the Bridge, and the board wipe Tessier's Devastation. And to combat our opponent's removal, we are also running Daring Archaeologist, Cavalier of Dawn, and Denifa Benalia's Hope, all of which help get our equipment back from our graveyard. We're running a ton of ways to find and add mana like Knight of the White Orchid, Tournament Grounds, and Soul Ring. And to round off the deck, we are running the Book of Vile Darkness, which, when coupled with the 2 other Vecna cards from earlier, will create an incredibly powerful token to help close out the game. In total, the deck comes up to just under $100 and can be seen and purchased in full using the link down in the description below. This deck was honestly way better than I expected, and plays incredibly smoothly, able to choose between going tall with all sorts of creatures or going wide with knight elements. And it ends up being one of the strongest Battle of Wits decks so far, which is a big surprise to me. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what kind of commanders I should build around next. If you want, check out these 2 videos, and until next time, have fun.